My God, I hate drugs.
Malacanang has yet to reveal details on President Duterte's announcement of radical changes he said would happen in the coming days. But his spokesperson says whatever the plan is, these changes would mean an intensified move to battle criminality in the country. Our senior correspondent Ceci Lardizabal has more.
Will the whole country be placed under martial law or a sort of leveled-up state of national emergency? The president's spokesperson doesn't have a definite answer.
Ang sabi po niya, possibly state of national emergency. If there are legal and factual basis, that's in the Constitution.
For PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, there's no indication about the president issuing a new declaration.
And as of this time, siguro naman the president has his own advisors dyan. No? Alam naman natin na meron din naman siyang security advisors dyan. And we do not want to second guess the president on that dun sa statement niya. Pero as of this time, walang indication whatsoever na sinasabi ng ating presidente na patungo doon sa sinasabi mo.
The country has been under a state of national emergency since September 2016 in the aftermath of the Davao bombing. Mindanao is under martial law until the year-end to quell terrorism and rebellion after the Marawi siege. So what does the president mean about the radical changes that will happen? His spokesman says the president wants a tougher approach to combat criminality.
Seems to me that the president recognizes the room for improvement as far as the fight against criminality is concerned, and hence his latest pronouncement 2 nights ago.
The president's strong anti-crime stance comes in the wake of an Australian-based think tank's Global Peace Index report. The report states the Philippines is the least peaceful Southeast Asian country amid the drug war and the aftermath of the Marawi siege. But the country's top defense chief downplays the report.
How could we be less, next only to Korea, less peaceful? Now maybe if you ask the North Koreans, they will see that they are also peaceful. Dahil wala namang patayan doon di ba?
Ceci Lardizabal, CNN Philippines.
What started out as a highly controversial presidential kiss planted on the lips of a married woman in South Korea has now evolved into a quarrel. The back and forth between former TV host Chris Aquino and Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson still on. The spat began when Uson dragged Aquino's late father into defending the kissing controversy. Uson reposted an old video of former Senator Ninoy Aquino being kissed by female supporters inside the airplane moments before he was assassinated in August 1983. Special Assistant to the President Bongo says President Duterte has apologized to Chris Aquino and that Uson herself will apologize. Shortly after Go spoke, Uson posted a Facebook status on her page, Mocha Uson blog. She said, quote, "With all due respect to everyone involved, I decline to apologize for the truth," unquote. In her Facebook Live last night, Aquino, in so many words, told Uson, quote, "Mocha, you win because you hurt me," unquote. Aquino had more to say today. In a television interview this afternoon, Aquino said she's moving on from the issue, but added, referring to Uson, quote, "I don't want to give her any more of my fame," unquote. In the same TV interview, Aquino read text messages exchanged between her and the president's special assistant Bongo after Uson refused to apologize. Aquino told Go, quote, "She obviously didn't show you respect and you don't deserve that." To which Go supposedly replied, quote, "Ma'am, hindi po namin kontrolado si Mocha, pero nagsorry na kami ni PRRD," unquote. Meantime, this is what the president's spokesman has to say for now on the issue. In a media briefing this morning, Harry Roque said for as long as Uson remains in her post, she continues to enjoy the president's trust.
For as long as she hasn't been fired, she enjoys trust and confidence because all presidential appointees serve at the pleasure of the president.
We appreciate all your online comments on our top story tonight. Keep them coming to our pages at CNN Philippines. We're also live right now on Facebook. The government welcomes the assurance of Slovakia that justice will be secured for a Filipino worker who was slain there. Henry John Acorda, who works as a financial analyst in Slovakia's capital, Bratislava, died on May 31st from injuries he sustained a few days after he was mauled by a Slovak man. Police discover a multi-million-dollar fraudulent online financial operation at the Clark Special Economic Zone in Pampanga, north of Manila. Authorities arrest more than 470 employees, including 8 Israeli operators in the company. Our George Cahiles has that story.
Police surprised hundreds of employees at this call center north of Metro Manila as they entered the building to serve a search warrant. Authorities say this is not an ordinary call center, as multi-million-dollar fraudulent online financial transactions happen here every day. Police arrest 8 Israeli nationals allegedly operating the illegal business. And authorities say the business is extensive. 3 buildings occupied at the Clark Freeport Zone in Pampanga. Operations happening for 2.5 years now, with around 1,000 employees. Of that number, police arrest 474 during operations.
Forensic examiners of PNP-ACG were able to extract several digital evidence from all the computers of IBD from the 3 buildings, which proves that it is engaged in a fraudulent online trading activity that involves millions of dollars, victimizing other foreign nationals all over the world.
Their modus: entice investors in fake stocks or Bitcoin, a digital currency. Authorities say daily transactions reach around $1 million.
They invite investors through online. So again, after that, they will get details of your bank accounts, credit cards. Transfer of money will be done through online. They will be the one controlling the transfer of money.
I didn't know what they were doing. They just tricked me into seeing my accounts. Oh, you have 15,000 here. You have 10,000 here. You have 5,000 here. We take all of them.
Some concerned employees informed a number of victims about the illegal activity, and the victims in turn traveled to the country all the way from Australia and South Africa to file complaints with the police.
Total, I lost 450, close to $500,000. And I want my money back. All the money that he took from me, it went to Czechoslovakia, it went to Denmark, it went to Germany, it went to London.
The PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group is now finding out how the Israelis set up shop in a big way in a government-owned property. All arrested operators and employees will face syndicated estafa charges. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
Following the police raid, the economic zone operator Clark Development Corporation says it has canceled the business permit of BPO firm International Branding Development Marketing Incorporated. Should marriage be limited to a man and a woman, the Supreme Court will soon rule on the matter. But without waiting for the landmark decision, a gay couple tried to apply for a marriage license today. How did things turn out? Our justice correspondent Angelo Mario tells us what happened.
Michael Jason Masaganda and his partner Lester arrived early at the Marikina Civil Registry office to apply for a marriage license. They've been together for just a month, but for them, it doesn't matter.
Hindi naman niya sa length of time kahit sa mga straight kahit matagal nga, diba, nagkakahiwalay din.
They're hopeful but aware of the reality that they could be rejected. It only took less than 5 minutes for Michael and Lester to face the registry officer.
Sabi ko, we're applying for marriage license. Tinitingnan niya na yung partner ko. Sabi, asan yung babae? Tama nga yung friend ko. Yun usually yung tatanungin, yung opposite gender na partner. So sabi ko, siya po. Hindi po, wala pa po kasing batas na nag-recognize ng same-sex marriage or equal marriage sa Pilipinas.
Masaganda says they will not be discouraged.
This will be our stepping stone also for filing a petition to the Supreme Court.
In 2015, openly gay lawyer Jesus Falsis filed a petition seeking to declare certain provisions of the Family Code unconstitutional. Falsis argued the 1987 Constitution does not define marriage solely as between man and woman. He added homosexuals are deprived of their right to found a family. Masaganda agrees they have legal basis to demand to be allowed same-sex marriage.
This is a constitutional right and freedom of expression and right to liberty.
Falsis also explained the state's interest is the protection of marriage as the foundation of the family and not the protection of heterosexual relationships. He pointed out homosexuals and same-sex couples do not and cannot harm the institution of marriage.
Niniwala po kami na ang kasal ay karapatang pantao at hindi po ito pribilehiyo na ibinibigay ng Estado o simbahan.
The Office of the Solicitor General, however, argued the question of whether marriage may be entered into by same-sex couples is a policy question. Any change to the concept of marriage, it pointed out, would have to be through a law enacted by Congress. The government's top lawyer also posed legal questions should the court allow same-sex marriage. Who of the two persons in a same-sex marriage would give his or her surname to their child? Who of the two persons in a same-sex marriage would be charged of adultery or of concubinage? On June 19th, the Supreme Court will hear both sides of pro and anti-same-sex marriage. Michael and Lester say they will both be here to continue their fight. They will not back down, otherwise their dream of getting married in this country will just remain a dream. Anjo Alimario, CNN Philippines.
President's men still making sense of what Mr. Duterte meant when he said radical changes in crime fighting are coming soon. No end to the word war between former television host Chris Aquino and Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson. Aquino has something to say about Uson refusing to apologize. And the Warriors a win away from NBA title number 3 in 4 years. Can the Cavaliers bounce back?